Hey gang, aloha. This is Monica, and you're welcome to Coco Joe Meditation Monday. Welcome aboard. Well, today coincide with the new moon, and some places starts on the 19th, but today is Monday, February the 20th. And so we start off this new moon with some places, like here in Hawaii, we have bad weather. But it is what it is. It's because we're going through this new phase, a new transition. And I last spoke about in my last YouTube video that, don't forget to subscribe so you can always catch up with what Coco Joe is doing. And so we spoke about really the shift of what's coming up for 2023. It's usually January and February when things get a little bit slow plus hectic, is because people who are getting ready for the spring is really busy during that month of January, February, because of the holiday season. We start to get ready to do our new release of things. Some people are doing a launch party March 1st, and hopefully if I get my new set of, our Minico micro bubble that's sold out, thank God I thought about, creating different designs for it, meaning the color. Stay tuned for that because we really sold out. I mean, seriously, I had like display samples and they're like, I'll buy it. So I'm literally completely sold out. Even all of my brochure is gone. I had one yesterday. Client took it. She said she loves the service I do. She wants to give it to her sister. Well, she even took a whole bunch of hair to show them. And so this is what it's all about, the new changes, meaning you're entering, whether you are starting a new phase in your life, because sometimes people don't accept changes so well, whether you're changing your career, changing your friends, changing to a new town. Changes are huge. And so sometimes the oldness of what was happening, all of a sudden it changed. Exactly when I came back home to Hawaii 3 years ago, I literally have to readjust myself to what was around me, and it was just kind of very interesting because when you come back from the mainland over to Hawaii, you see things differently, and it's really, the style of business is very quick, boom, 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 and get things done because there's just so much different opportunities that lies out there for you. And I got quite a big surprise yesterday with a beautiful phone call from Okami-sama from Kyoto. And she has a very, she's the 6th generation. This is one of the most well-known Japanese ryokan in Kyoto. And I get to see her today. She surprised me. I mean, it's wow. I mean, for my 50th birthday, I got to see out and stayed at a beautiful ryokan that my girlfriend set up for me. And the Okami-san brought me a cake and presents. And it was so great. And that's the kind of things that really makes me feel good. Simple, good, elegant ways. Because I look up to these Okami-sama. And they're really the true boss women of Japan. And, when you go back in time, in century, really when you say ryokan, it really has the origin of Japanese culture that's really rooted in both Buddhism and Shinto, which really is the national religion of Japan. And so these quite fine ladies, the madam of the house, runs the stuff, and she works with very important or very classy people that can understand. It's just a little niche of group of people that goes there that kind of runs the business out in Japan, and that's how it was done before back in the days. And so I'm so happy to go see her this afternoon. So that's why I'm doing this video very early, because she teaches me. She teaches me really true depth of how to see this feeling of being, in the States, when we, or some places, when we have this compassion of doing things, which in Japanese or in the ryokan way, we said omote nashi, omote nashi, omote nashi. Omote nashi means you don't think anything, and you just do it from your heart, and you do it from your soul. And that's what really get business, together, is really combining that combination and that feeling. Sometimes, let me tell you, my mentors, like Okami-sama, she's actually the 6th generation, and is a very, very well known. If you go to Japan, good luck of getting in there. And so, she teaches these things, that you just don't sign up. You just meet by faith. And that's how I met her way back when I can't remember. I have to ask her. I can't remember, but when I had my pop-up out in Kyoto during the summertime. And it's so funny because it's like I'm going through, this is really weird what's happening, because I haven't seen Ensign, and I'm wearing this bracelet, this anklet that he made. And then now comes Okami-sama that I met in Kyoto, because I've always walked past and I'm like, wow, what is this place? And so, and here she is. It's things that happens when your senseis, your mentors, they come to you, and it just happens for a reason. And they teach you these things. And so far in my life, I have been so blessed to have such great senseis, mentors that taught me all these things. And so, really for me is, I put all of these gifts that they give to me and really create what my company, my philosophy, and my ways of doing is. And really it comes down to this word called ikigai. And I used that the last time for my Meditation Monday. So today is really a combination of Meditation Monday and the super new moon. And it is a super new moon in Pisces. And so that's going to really take us into a next level of sorry about that. That's going to really take you to another level of really figuring out who to really forgive. Because if we don't forgive, our heart really doesn't have that clarity or the opening of really expanding yourself. Because if we have the feeling of forgiveness in whatever happens, because sometimes people are not in a good mood, believe me, and sometimes people don't want to accept negative criticism or positive criticism or just really productive criticism. And sometimes people get very offended and people get this or that. Those are the really people who will end up to be very stagnant in the way things are moving. And it was this one gal who said, because I didn't, I mentioned about that, because I didn't recognize a lot of things that's happening here in Hawaii. She said, you need to get back in tune with that, which is the truth. And so, I gave her a call. We're going to be meeting in March. And so things are really start to formulate, because if you have the right intention, things will happen, because the invisibles are looking to expand those that will connect. just like what's happening today. I mean, I never expect to see her in a million billion years. I mean, gosh, I'm just like overwhelmed. And so really this compassion, this love, this really about what we can feel. And sometimes when people are too much about, it's all about me, it's all about me. Okay, we get it. But there's a different style of angle and things that we have to see beyond the surface, you know? And so if we focus on so much that we have to have everything where this, and there's no leeway, fine. That's how the structure of government and the system works, okay? But some people don't work that way. I love to have a system. Once I have a system implemented, that's how it's going to work. And by doing that, you also have to have the opening of listening to others, because if you don't, you can't really hear the other voices. And you're going to start to find yourself getting not grateful and not forgiving. Forgiving is meaning that once you start to forgive whatever, it may irritate the bejeety out of you. You know what? It's okay. Just forgive. Just forgive and go and let go. Because once you do that, you find the peace. And so when it's coming up is March 7th, which is my birthday, is the full moon. And this moon is so powerful. It's so strong. And so that's why we have to start to anchor down so we can start to see the flowers start growing. You know, the way that Virgo and Pisces works is really about three things. It's healing, preparing, and really the perfection of how you want to do it. Because like I said, you can have all the different kind of tools and do it. You know, like some people are now all of a sudden microbubbles popping all over. They're doing it and they're trying to do, but it doesn't give them results. They just show the good side of it. They don't really show the good, the bad, the ugly side of it. Because, hey, look, I got my hands dirty. And that's how you learn. That's how you get the true knowledge. That's how you get the new wealth. And so these are the kind of things that you have to have this feeling of willing to change. This willing to change is such a huge, great entity that will carry you over. Why am I getting so much calls? That will carry you over to really finding and securing yourself. Because this full moon that's coming up on March the 7th is really a full moon of that strong energy of really coming together and serving others, as well as really understanding how to really give up some things, you know, and by giving up things and learning how to willing to accept these construction criticism. I mean, I get a lot. I tell my customer, I narrow them down, you know, afterwards, follow-up calls, this and that, what we talked about. Boom, before I knew it, she's already put another reservation for next month. She's over here, wrote her whole, you know, what's happening. And so these are the kind of things that is so important, because we're creating this communication. You know, this communication that we can prepare ourselves and how to really see and discerning ourselves on what's going to start to come about. Because the physical part and the health part, no brainers. We already seen it happen 3 years ago. Okay, it's not about who got the shot, who didn't get the shot. Some people still over there. It's more about the health and nutrition that we're looking into, especially when it comes down to eating. Eating is really something that we really need to start to focus, because, you know, like I said, the invisibles, like beyond the burgers and these other things that are going to start to come in, and they are going to maybe do what to our health? Do what to our physical self? And so we have to look into all of these things that is coming forward. And we have to be careful on what we eat, whether we're going to go on a diet or change our diet, change our dog food. Look what's happening into the system. Okay, so we talked about a whole bunch of that. And so, and I have to probably prepare myself to start putting all these into our membership room, because people are asking me for recipes, which I have a lot that I want to pass on. I already have my Alexa, turn off the alarm, because I have to start getting ready. And so all of these things are coming together, and so we have to really push ourselves to do it. But at the same, oh God. And so, we have to, Alexa, turn off the music. And so, like all these things, technology, you don't know what, and you're making a video, Alexa comes out of nowhere reminding me, oh, I better not use her name because she's flashing. So these are the kind of things in the new world that we're working on, and it gets scary because I didn't know that I pressed my phone yesterday. I was talking on the phone and I was texting somebody, and luckily I didn't hit the button because all of my conversation would have been sent. And so this is the kind of things that's going to be switching over the energy for March. So prepare yourself by cleaning up really what's around you. Whether it serves its purpose or whether it didn't serve its purpose, clean it out. Things right out. I'm already on my new journal as of today, the new moon. And so these are the things that we have to do it and ourselves. We have to look at ourselves and what's going on. If you want to get a miracle micro bubble, if you want to learn, do it. Don't just come around and be sneaky. I don't have the time for that. Nobody has the time for that. Nobody have any time for people coming in and out. All of that has changed because there is so many things. People still have the mentality of what is good, because we just already, there's just so much toxic system that everybody thinks that they can get away with things, and they did, literally. Then look at what's happening right now. And so these are the kind of things that you have to start to understand and be kind in your communication, because, meaning that be keen and kind is really what's going to start to, we need to look out, because one little switcheroo of saying sir, madam, or, I don't want to even go there about the gender thing. That's all going to have a big, huge role that's going to start to do. So really be kind, but sometimes being too nice will pull your legs down, So you have to be very direct, and you have to be very clear about the stuff. And if they rub it the wrong way, that's really not your problem, because you have so many things that comes up. I mean, for me is I try my best and bring it together, because we are all business people. So I'm reaching out to all these pet industry people to come together to start to do this. I can't do this all by myself, because I got a lot of things coming up. And so these are the things that once you start bringing things together as a whole, as a community, and as for what your passion and love is, then you can really start to improve yourself. And that's how success starts to happen, because the thing is like little by little, every day, we all make these mistakes, like it or not. Okay, so we have to understand and how to improve. So if somebody gives me construction criticism, I take it with a huge grain of sand, because they are kind enough and loving enough and telling me enough the truth. And so when you find that kind of kindness of words, don't take it negatively, because they're constructive criticism of how you may miss out and not see it. And this is so, so important, because criticism is the hardest pill to take, but it's the truth of where it's coming from. Because if you don't change that mindset, you'll never get to the next level, because you're turning your energy into hate, into negativity. Well, Well, no, that's unnecessary. Okay? Listen, think, and love, light, and gain that wisdom, because from that, you start to understand about peaceful communication, peaceful calmness, and really kindness at the end of the day. And so that's how I built my network, where like I gotta go and see Okami-sama, 6th generation. Unbelievable. I can't believe it. So that's how, once we start to understand and give this kind of love, light, wisdom, peaceful, cleanness, kindness, it's because of this construction criticism, people. Wake up. That's the only way that you can turn your energy. And people who cannot take it, then you will always start doing the same thing and rowing the same boat. Whereas you can take this construction criticism, my sensei, my mentors, my teachers, my loving clients, my surrounding gives me that. And I learn from it. And those that really implemented into and enhancing my life, I will implement it. But if I hear something that doesn't resonate and doesn't give that great energy of vibration, it's not going to give you that unity, that togetherness, and most of all, that unconditional love. And I learned that from my business, from literally from the dogs. And so these are really how it's going to start to be the introduction messages that you get to really go out to the source. Everybody have these different higher frequency of the aha moment, or their gut feeling, or using yourself as a temple, using yourself as that light, using your heart, your soul, and your energy to receive this source of messages through mediumship. Or, and that's why when you start to work on that, you start to work on your HSP, your highly sensitive production, how to renegade all of these energies, and how, when you know that at the right time, the right moment, the right people will come into your life to again teach you the next level of life. So stay tuned for more of Coco Joy Corner. That's what's coming up. Like I said, March 7 is the full moon, but today focus on the new moon that will give you the new intention, will take you, because things starts to go and rock and roll in March. So don't forget, spring is here. My 2 favorite season is spring and autumn. So take care, and once again, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, where we talk about dogs and we talk about all of the moon structure and the energy, and like today's Meditation Monday. So stay tuned for more of Coco Joy Corner. And once again, thank you and aloha. And don't forget to write your new intention. It's going to be so strong. Believe me. Keep at it, and most of all, work from the inside out. Aloha. Love you guys.